Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in because today we're cutting right through the hype. You know, all those endless buzzwords? We're throwing them out to look at the actual real-world mechanics of decentralized finance, or DeFi, passive income. We're going to pop the hood on a system that's literally captivated millions, but honestly is still deeply misunderstood.
It's the ultimate hook, right? I mean, you see it everywhere online. This dream of making free money while you sleep. But let's get a reality check going right out of the gate. Yield farming is not magic. It's a highly structured system, and it's built on incentives, liquidity, risk, and some pretty intense automation. Can it generate rewards? Absolutely. But if you treat it like some guaranteed money printer, well, you're going to get burned.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for this explainer. 1. What is yield farming? 2. How the mechanics work. 3. Where yield actually comes from. 4. Why people lose money. And 5. Smart strategies for beginners.
All right, Section 1. What exactly is yield farming?
At its core, yield farming is simply locking or lending your cryptocurrency into DeFi platforms in exchange for rewards over time. The whole concept is built around this one really cool idea, making your idle crypto actually work for you instead of just letting it sit in a digital wallet gathering digital dust. You see, platforms need liquidity to function, and if you provide that liquidity for them, they incentivize you. So essentially, it's incentivized liquidity provision. The reason we call it farming actually mirrors agriculture perfectly. You plant your seeds by depositing your crypto. Then, you wait for them to grow as time passes. And finally, you harvest your rewards. That could be in the form of interest, fees, or even bonus tokens. But check out that final warning right there. This is our first major reality check today. Unlike traditional fixed-yield setups you'd find at a bank, the results here are absolutely not guaranteed.
Moving right along to Section 2, how the mechanics actually work.
The process itself is remarkably streamlined. Step 1, you connect your crypto wallet. Step 2, you deposit your assets into a liquidity pool or a lending protocol. But Step 3 is where the magic, or actually scratch that, the technology really happens. A smart contract takes over. There's no human manager sitting in an office. This automated code locks your assets, uses them in DeFi activities, tracks your specific share, and calculates your rewards. Which brings us perfectly to Step 4, where you earn. That smart contract is the absolute backbone of the entire system.
And this brilliantly illustrates a distinction you're going to see constantly when you're farming: APR versus APY. They look kind of similar, but they are very different beasts. APR is simply your yearly interest without any compounding. APY, on the other hand, includes compounding, meaning you're taking your rewards and reinvesting them to earn even more. APY is usually that much higher number you see advertised by platforms trying to catch your eye.
Which brings us to Section 3, the million-dollar question. Where does yield actually come from?
To demystify the flow of money here, I want you to think of a DeFi platform like a giant physical shopping mall. The shoppers walking around the mall, those are the traders. The rent paid to keep the lights on, those are the trading fees. The loans keeping the stores fully stocked represent borrowed capital, and those flashy promotions designed to get you in the door, those are token incentives. Now, if the mall is busy, fees are collected and everyone earns. But if that mall is a ghost town, well, the rewards drop straight to zero.
Let's break down this flow of money row by row, just so you can really grasp the mechanics here. When people trade, they pay fees, and those fees go directly to liquidity providers. When people borrow crypto, they pay borrowing interest, and that goes straight to the lenders. And to attract all these folks in the first place, protocols pay token incentives to platform users. So, as this table proves, real yield comes from real economic activity. It's not just money being printed out of thin air.
This builds into an incredibly important distinction: sustainable versus unsustainable yield. Sustainable yield is based on exactly what we just saw: real usage, actual trading fees, and real interest. Unsustainable yield? Well, that's based on pure hype. It happens when a platform simply prints new tokens to give away as temporary incentives just to attract users. And you know what? A lot of those sky-high returns you hear about in DeFi fall straight into that unsustainable category.
All right, let's step into the danger zone. Section 4, why people lose money.
Listen, if you ever see a 500% APY advertised, pause immediately. Astronomically high numbers like this almost always mean extreme, profound risk. It usually means the system is being heavily incentivized by rapid token inflation. And honestly, that yield is going to collapse the second the hype fades.
So the crucial point here is understanding this specific concept.
impermanent loss. This is the biggest hidden risk in all of yield farming. Let's say you deposit tokens into a pool. If the market price of those tokens suddenly changes, the automated system rebalances your share. Because of how the math works, you might actually end up with less value than if you had just held the tokens safely in your wallet. The more volatile the assets you're farming with, the higher your risk of impermanent loss.
And impermanent loss is really just the tip of the iceberg. You also face the risk of a total token price collapse. You face smart contract exploits where hackers find bugs in the code. And of course, there are rug pulls, which is basically the crypto equivalent of a magic trick, where anonymous developers steal your funds and just vanish. Add in over-leveraging and high gas fees, and you can start to see why DeFi is frequently compared to riding a roller coaster blindfolded.
Okay, let's rebuild that confidence. Section 5, Smart Strategies for Beginners.
Everything in this space starts with your mindset. The dangerous mindset on the left says, I'm going to get rich fast, and blindly chases the highest APY without doing a shred of research. I'm directly challenging you to adopt the safe mindset on the right instead. Say to yourself, I must manage exposure carefully. Because success in yield farming isn't about getting lucky, it's about knowledge, extreme patience, and really strict risk control.
Here are the actual actionable strategies you should apply. First and foremost, start with stablecoin farming using assets pegged to the dollar, like USDT or USDC. Why? Because it significantly lowers that terrifying risk of impermanent loss we just talked about. Next up, stick only to established, audited platforms with long track records. Diversify your funds. Please don't put all your crypto in one single pool. Use very small capital at first just to learn how the deposits and withdrawals work. And always, always think long-term. This quote right here beautifully summarizes the entire reality check of our explainer today. Those who treat it like gambling often lose. Those who treat it like a financial system are the ones who last. Yield farming is a remarkably powerful tool, but only if you respect the rules, the risks, and the underlying mechanics.
So, having seen the mechanics, the real flow of the money, the hidden risks, and the safe strategies, are you ready to farm responsibly? I really hope this explainer has empowered you to continue your learning journey safely, thoughtfully, and with your eyes wide open. Thanks so much for joining me today, and stay curious.